I'm Jim Condit Jr., and I'm going to tell you in this short video about the strangest political secret. For those of you who don't know me, I was an alternate delegate to the Nixon Convention at the age of 19 in 1972, and learned at that time through a book that was sent to me and all the other delegates and alternates about the banking forces that are behind the New World Order. If you're not familiar with this, then look in our documentation section on wagthedog2010.com. That is the reason we need hundreds of thousands of Americans now to do the simple steps that will implement the strangest political secret all across the United States. If I'm known for anything on the internet, it's for fighting easily rigged computerized elections counted in secret since 1979. In 1990, I was one of just a few who spearheaded the implementation of the strangest political secret in Cincinnati, Ohio, where we legally defeated the incumbent Republican Party then, and then had they took it all the way up to the Ohio Supreme Court to steal it from us, but that's another story, and that's because so few people were watching them. My websites, the first website on the internet was about easily rigged computerized elections and how we need open paper ballot vote counting, is votefraud.org. That was erected in March of 1996. And the one about the strangest political secret, or the neighborhood precinct strategy, is networkamerica.org. On this video, I'm going to be referring you, though, mostly to places on wagthedog2010.com, whether or not you're watching on YouTube or if you may already be at wagthedog2010.com. On Thursday, March 26, 2009, at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a young lady with an all-American voice who sounded 30-something, called into the Sean Hannity show. She expressed her frustration to Sean, how the public officials, Republican and Democrat, were unresponsive to her and to everyone else she knew. And Sean began to read her a list of the Tea Parties that were coming up, rallies that are being held in early 2009. As he was reading the list, she interrupted him and said, "Sean, I need more than Tea Parties." Now, that lady was speaking for millions of Americans who know that letter writing and rallies, such as the Tea Party, which are good in themselves, are not enough. They need something more. That is the strangest political secret. When you hear me tell you the strangest political secret now, you're going to be amazed that no one has ever explained it to you. As I said a minute ago, this is not theory. I've been involved in organizing 700 people in Cincinnati to implement this. If we had honest courts, then we would have succeeded in taking over the Republican Party in Hamilton County and Cincinnati in 1990 and spreading it across the country. But with the internet, if we got 700 people back then in one city without the internet, with the internet, we can now get 50,000 to 200,000 easily to implement this easy plan as an adjunct to all the other good things that people are doing. In the movie Wag the Dog, at a key point, Robert De Niro's character talks to is delivering to Dustin Hoffman's character a piece of information that means life or death to the Dustin Hoffman character, and he says, "Listen to me." And without talking down to anybody, I'm just trying to be a good reporter to those of you who are searching for the answer, I'm going to say now, listen to me. Whether or not we implement the neighborhood precinct strategy in 2009 through 2010 to 2012 may mean the difference in life or death to the constitutional form of government with its true freedoms that we've had in the United States for 230-something years. This is the only peaceful and constitutional solution. The system is already set up, and the precinct strategy is also the way to organize by county, by state, and by precinct in case things go unexpectedly for the worse in the United States of America in the next few years. The strangest political secret is the neighborhood precinct strategy. We see the candidates, but where do the candidates come from? 95+% of the time, probably 99% of the time, the candidates who win at the May or the spring primaries are endorsed by the Republican and Democratic Party. The Republican and Democratic Party control all 3,141 counties in this country. So we see the candidates, but people rarely think that the candidates we see are 99% plus of the time endorsed by the Republican and Democratic parties, basically at the county level. So, where do the Republican and Democratic Party leaders come from? They come from the neighborhood precinct executive, someone within 10 streets or so around your house. Now, with the exception of Obama, we all know that there's 50 states. Those 50 states are divided into 3,141 counties. For instance, my state of Ohio is divided into 88 counties, and here's the state of Iowa is divided into 99 counties, and so on. There are, again, about 3,141 counties in the USA. Each one of the counties is divided into neighborhood precincts. My county in Cincinnati has around 1,100 neighborhood precincts. It's pretty large. But 100 miles north of us in Ohio is Knox County, Ohio, which has only 58 precincts. And each of these precincts is, again, about 10 to 20 to 30 streets around your house. Here's a Precinct 18, an actual map of Precinct 18 in Bloomfield Township in Michigan. You can see there's about 30 streets. Everyone who lives in this precinct votes at the same place. For instance, where I live in White Oak suburb in Cincinnati, we vote at the White Oak Senior Center. All the voters in your precinct vote at the same place. Here is a picture of someone signing in to vote in her precinct in Syracuse, New York. And all the other voters in her neighborhood precinct will vote at the same place. Now here's the big secret. At the May primary in Ohio, or the 2010 primary where you are, every even year primary, the voters in your precinct will elect the neighborhood precinct executives. The Democrats elect the Democratic neighborhood precinct executive for your and my precincts, and the Republicans in your precinct will elect the Republican precinct executives. Most people do not realize this takes place at the May primary. I didn't notice it. I'd been voting for 15 years or so in 1986 when I first noticed that I was voting for precinct executive every May primary. It's usually, if anyone's running, sometimes nobody's running, 1/3 of the precincts are vacant, but if anyone's running, it's after the coroner and the dog catcher, and it's usually unopposed. It's very easy for Americans to run for precinct. In Ohio, it takes 5 signatures. In Pennsylvania, I believe it takes 10 signatures. It's very easy. And we only need 200,000 or 300,000 people nationwide to do this. I mean, there's 3 million people that voted for, that were supporting Ron Paul, 3 to 4 million people that are worried about Second Amendment rights or the pro-life issue. We only need 300,000 or 400,000 people to run in these precincts to return us to constitutional leadership if the current party leaders don't shape up. So that's part of the secret. The other part of the secret is 1 month after your 2010 primary, or all the even year primaries, like in June in Cincinnati and Ohio, or maybe it's another, 1 month after your primary in your state, then the almost secret county precinct organizational meeting takes place for the Democrat and Republican parties. It'll happen on different nights, and the parties will go to the convention center in a big county, or the VFW hall, or a school gymnasium, and there on one night the Democrats, and somewhere else maybe on another night the Republicans, they elect the all-important party leaders. It is this meeting that they do not want you to know about. It is that the